Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Rarest Coins. Today's video covers one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern coin collecting. We're diving into the story of the 1960 D Lincoln penny, and specifically, one extraordinary version of this coin that is believed to have sold for an astonishing $1.7 million. That's right. A 1-cent coin, minted in 1960 at the Denver Mint, changed hands for more money than most people will earn in a decade. But what makes this penny so special? Why is this particular coin so valuable? And could you possibly have one sitting in your collection without even realizing it? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the rare 1960 D varieties, and why this coin is one of the most sought after in numismatic history. But let's begin with the basics. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse featured two wheat ears, a design that gave us the name wheat penny. In 1959, the wheat reverse was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, which marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. So officially, the last wheat penny struck for circulation was dated 1958, the BY 1960. All U.S. pennies were supposed to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. So you might be wondering, how is there such a thing as a 1960 D wheat penny? This is where the story takes an unexpected and fascinating turn to what experts believe to be one of the rarest and most mysterious minting errors of the 20th century. A small number of 1960 D pennies were discovered with the old wheat ears design on the reverse, a design that was no longer supposed to exist after 1958. This was not a fantasy coin, not a private issue, and not a post-mint alteration. These were genuine United States coins struck at the Denver Mint with a mismatched pair of dies, the 1960 D obverse, paired with a wheat reverse that should have been retired 2 years earlier. This type of coin is known in the numismatic world as a mule. A mule occurs when two dies that were never intended to be used together are accidentally paired and used to strike coins. These errors are incredibly rare, and in many cases, only 1 or 2 examples are ever known to exist. That's what makes mule coins so valuable and so legendary among collectors. When a verified 1960 D mule penny with the wheat reverse surfaced, the coin collecting world went into shock. After being authenticated by professional grading services, this coin eventually went to auction and sold for an unbelievable $1.7 million. Just think about that for a moment. A single penny, struck in 1960 with a rare reverse error, became a multi-million-dollar treasure. This isn't just a cool story. This is a real-world reminder that even the smallest details matter in the world of rare coins. But the story doesn't stop there. Even if you don't have the million-dollar mule, the 1960 D penny is still a fascinating coin, with several varieties and errors that are worth serious money. One of the most well-known and highly collectible variations from this year is the 1960 small date versus large date varieties. What's the difference? In 1960, both large date and small date pennies were produced at the Denver Mint. The size of the numbers in the date, especially the 0, differs slightly between the two. The small date version is considered far more scarce and valuable, particularly in higher grades. Collectors pay close attention to these small date 1960 D pennies. If you find one in brilliant uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS 65 or higher, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if you happen to find one with a mint error, the value only increases. There are also double die varieties and repunched mint marks known for this year. A double die coin shows noticeable doubling in the lettering or numbers on the coin. Look closely at the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date itself. If you notice any clear duplication under magnification, that might be a valuable error. Repunched mint marks are another variation collectors hunt for. A repunched mint mark occurs when the D for Denver was stamped more than once in slightly different positions, leaving a ghost-like outline or doubling. These varieties are known to exist on the 1960 D penny and can be worth anywhere from $25 to several $100s depending on condition. And of course, as with any coin, the grade matters. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a perfect, flawless specimen. The difference between a 1960 D penny in average circulated condition and one in mint state 67 can be enormous in terms of value. A high-grade, small-date 1960 D penny has sold for over $3,000 at public auction. What should you do if you think you've got something special? Start by examining your coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Compare the size of the date to known images of the small date and large date varieties. Look closely at the mint mark. Check for doubling or unusual features on the design. And most importantly, check the reverse. If you see wheat ears instead of the Lincoln Memorial, stop everything. You may be holding one of the rarest coins ever minted. If your coin looks promising, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and drastically reduce its value. Instead, place it in a protective sleeve or holder and contact a professional coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate your coin, grade its condition, and give you documentation to help sell or auction it if you choose. Let's recap. The 1960 D Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but it holds one of the greatest surprises in U.S. coin history. A mule error combining the 1960 D obverse with the wheat reverse, a design retired 2 years earlier, resulted in a coin that sold for an incredible $1.7 million. Add in the small date variety, double die errors, and repunched mint marks, and you have one of the most collectible modern pennies ever struck. Before you toss that old penny in the coin jar, take a second look. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. That small copper coin could be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable finds, and numismatic mysteries, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another episode. And drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare penny in your change? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep checking your change, stay curious, and happy coin hunting. If you'd like help turning this into a voiceover-friendly script, a YouTube Shorts version, thumbnail text, or video chapter breakdown, I can assist with that too. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Rarest Coins. Today's video is going to blow your mind, especially if you're someone who collects coins, loves history, or just wants to know if there's hidden treasure sitting in your pocket change. We're talking about the 1994 Lincoln penny. That's right, the everyday 1-cent coin that most people ignore. But what if I told you that one rare version of this penny has reportedly sold for as much as $1.3 million? You heard that correctly. 1 cent, one coin, $1.3 million. Now let's break down exactly how a penny from the 1990s, a decade many of us remember clearly, could possibly reach a value like that. We'll cover the history, what makes the 1994 penny so unique, what to look for, and how you might be sitting on something extremely valuable without even knowing it. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909. It was introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The original design had Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, a design known today as the wheat penny. This wheat design was used from 1909 all the way through 1958. Then, in 1959, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, and in 2010 it changed again to the Union Shield. By the time we reached 1994, the penny in circulation featured Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. So, you might be wondering, how is it even possible for a 1994 wheat penny to exist if that design hadn't been used in over 30 years? The answer lies in what collectors call a mule error, a coin that's struck using 2 mismatched dies. In simple terms, a die is the tool that stamps the design onto a blank coin. Sometimes, by accident or even unknown circumstances, a die with an old design, like the wheat reverse, gets paired with a die from a much later date, like 1994. When that happens, and the coin actually makes it out into circulation, what you have is an error so rare that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts of money for it. In one known case, a 1994 penny with a wheat reverse was discovered and sent in for authentication. Professional coin graders confirmed it was genuine. The reverse was not altered or tampered with. It was a true mint error, a 1 in a billion coin. And when it went up for private auction, the final price shocked everyone, $1.3 million. Now, think about that for a second. A penny, just one, worth more than a luxury home, more than most sports cars, and more than many people earn in a lifetime. This is what makes the world of numismatics, that's coin collecting, so fascinating. Every so often, a tiny mistake, a freak accident, or a hidden historical relic gets released into the wild. And if you're lucky enough to find one, your entire life could change. But the story of the 1994 Lincoln penny doesn't end there. Even if you don't have the $1 million mule, there are other valuable 1994 pennies out there. Some feature double die errors, die breaks, off-center strikes, and other mint mistakes that can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. Let's talk about one of the most common but valuable errors, the double die. This happens when the die that strikes the coin is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. It can create a visible doubling of letters or numbers, especially in words like Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date. These errors are not easy to spot with the naked eye, but with a simple magnifying glass or coin loop, you can inspect your coins for signs of doubling. Another thing to look out for is off-center strikes. These occur when the blank coin isn't perfectly aligned with the die during minting. A slight off-center strike might not add much value, but extreme off-center coins, like those missing large portions of the design, can sell for big money, especially if the date is still fully visible. Die cracks and retained cuds are also valuable. These are signs that the die used to mint the coin was damaged or wearing out, leaving raised lines or missing pieces on the coin. Again, these small errors might seem insignificant to the average person, but to a serious collector, they can mean the difference between a coin worth a penny and a coin worth $1,000. And let's not forget about condition. A 1994 penny in worn condition might only be worth face value, but the exact same coin in mint state condition, that means no scratches, no wear, perfect shine, could be worth a lot more, even without an error. High-grade coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, from 1 to 70. A grade of MS 65 and above is considered excellent. A 1994 penny in MS 67 or MS 68 condition can fetch serious money at auction. Now, if you're sitting at home wondering if you've got a valuable coin, here's what you need to do. First, grab your stash of pennies. Get a magnifying glass, a soft cloth, and plenty of light. Start by sorting your 1994 pennies. Separate them by mint mark, D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco, which usually indicates proof coins. Check the lettering closely. Look at the date. Inspect both sides for any signs of doubling, cracks, or off-center strikes. If you find something unusual, don't try to clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value. Instead, store it carefully and reach out to a certified coin grading service. Companies like PCGS and NGC can professionally evaluate your coin, give it a grade, and confirm whether it's genuine. Once authenticated, your coin could be listed for auction, and who knows, maybe yours will be the next $1 million find. Let's recap. The 1994 Lincoln penny is more than just pocket change. In some extremely rare cases, like the mule error with the wheat reverse, it can be worth as much as $1.3 million. Other valuable versions include double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, and coins in pristine mint condition. The key is knowing what to look for and being patient and consistent in your search before you throw your next penny into the tip jar or ignore the spare change in your car. Take a second look. One small coin could change your financial future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss another story about rare and valuable coins. And let us know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? What's the most valuable penny you've ever come across? Until next time, keep your eyes on your change and happy treasure hunting. Let me know if you'd like a thumbnail text suggestion, voiceover timing guide, or ideas for visuals and editing cues to go with this script. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a coin that many people overlook, the humble Lincoln penny. But not just any penny. We're talking about the 1995 Lincoln penny. Now you might be thinking, a penny from 1995? That's not that old. But here's the shocker. Certain rare versions of the 1995 Lincoln penny have been valued as high as $1.2 million. That's right. A single 1-cent coin from the 1990s could be worth a small fortune. How is that even possible? Is it a misprint? Is it rare metal content? Is it a hidden government secret? Well, we're about to uncover the history, the minting details, the rare errors, and the collector demand behind this unbelievable coin. Stick around, because you might just have one of these coins sitting in your change jar right now. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been part of American currency since 1909. It was created to honor President Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original penny featured Lincoln's portrait on the front and two wheat stalks on the back. This design was in place until 1958, and those pennies are commonly known as wheat pennies. But by 1959, the wheat reverse was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design, and that remained until 2008. So, by the time we get to 1995, the reverse of the penny was the Lincoln Memorial. Which brings up a big question. Why are people calling it a 1995 wheat penny? And how could it possibly be worth $1.20 million? Let's clear that up right away. In most cases, any 1995 penny you find will have the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But very rarely, mistake coins, known in the collecting world as error coins, are produced. In these rare cases, an old die or misaligned die could accidentally be used, resulting in a wheat reverse being struck on a newer coin. Now, imagine this. A coin from 1995 accidentally struck with the reverse design of a wheat penny, a design that hadn't been in use for nearly 4 decades. That's what collectors call a mule coin. Two mismatched sides never meant to appear together. These coins are extremely rare, sometimes so rare that only 1 or 2 examples exist. One such example, authenticated by professional grading services, shocked the coin collecting world when it was auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Why so much? Because of its extreme rarity, historical value, and the sheer impossibility of its existence. It was a minting mistake that defied the odds and somehow made it out into the public. When something that rare shows up, collectors are willing to pay whatever it takes. Now let's talk about something else that made the 1995 penny famous, the 1995 double die obverse. This is one of the most well-known and sought-after modern error coins in the world. A double die occurs when the coin die, the piece that strikes the design onto the coin, is misaligned during production. The result? A doubling effect that's especially visible in the lettering. On the 1995 double die penny, you can clearly see doubling in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." It's not a trick of the light. It's a real, physical doubling caused by an error during the minting process. This version of the coin is far more common than the $1.2 million mule error, but it's still worth a lot. A verified 1995 double die penny in mint condition can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s, depending on its grade. Some MS, 68 examples, that's near perfect condition, have sold for over $5,000. And the value keeps rising as more collectors seek out modern error coins. So now we've got 2 major reasons why the 1995 Lincoln penny is famous. First, the ultra-rare mule error, a 1995 penny with a wheat reverse. One of the most mysterious and valuable minting mistakes in history, selling for $1.2 million. Second, the 1995 double die penny, a far more common but still highly valuable error that anyone could potentially find in circulation. Let's get into the details of how you can spot one of these rare coins. First, check the date, 1995. Then look at the reverse. If your 1995 penny somehow has wheat stalks instead of the Lincoln Memorial, congratulations, you might be holding a $1 million coin. Your next step should be to get it professionally authenticated immediately by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you've got a regular 1995 penny with the Lincoln Memorial on the back, don't give up. Look closely at the front. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop and check for doubling in the letters "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you spot clear, separated doubling, you may have one of the famous double die obverse coins. And don't worry if your coin has some wear and tear. Even circulated versions of the double die penny can still be worth a decent amount, especially if they're in good condition. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. Now let's talk about value ranges. A standard 1995 Lincoln penny in average condition is worth just 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, it might bring you $1 or $2. A double die version in MS 65 condition can be worth several $100s. A near-perfect MS 68 example, thousands. And the Holy Grail, The 1995 wheat reverse mule error is a once-in-a-lifetime find. There's no standard price for a coin that rare. Its value is determined entirely by collector demand. That's how it ended up going for $1.2 million. And if another one ever shows up, who knows? It might go for even more. So the big takeaway here is this: never ignore your change. Every penny could be a potential treasure. People throw away or ignore pennies all the time, but stories like this prove why every coin matters. Check your drawers, your piggy banks, your old coin jars. That 1995 penny sitting in your car's cup holder could be worth more than your entire CAR.T. Wrap it up. The 1995 Lincoln penny is one of the most exciting modern coins for collectors. Between the famous double die error and the extremely rare mule with a wheat reverse, it's a coin that proves how valuable even modern cents can be. And if you're lucky enough to find the right one, it could change your life forever. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We've got more stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the incredible value of everyday things. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1995 penny or any other rare coin. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep your eyes open, check your change, and happy hunting. Let me know if you'd like a version optimized for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or broken into visual chapters with suggested B-roll. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something truly fascinating, especially if you're a coin collector, history buff, or just someone curious about rare treasures hiding in plain sight. We're talking about the Lincoln penny. But not just any penny, the 2016 Lincoln penny. And believe it or not, there are versions of this coin that collectors have valued at over $1 million. That's right, a single penny worth $1.1 million. So how is that even possible? Stick around, because we're breaking it all down. The history, the minting secrets, the rare errors, and how you might just have a fortune sitting in your pocket change. First, let's talk a little bit about the Lincoln penny's origins. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909. It was introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's image. The design was originally created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and featured Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the back. That wheat design gave rise to the term we all know and love, the wheat penny. Now, the original wheat design was in circulation from 1909 to 1958. After that, it changed to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, and more recently, to the Union Shield. So how does a 2016 penny come into play here? That's where things get interesting. By 2016, the U.S. Mint was producing the Lincoln penny with the Union Shield design on the reverse. However, there have been a few very rare instances where error coins were struck or experimental pieces made it into circulation. These coins break the rules, and when a coin breaks the rules and survives, that's when collectors go crazy. In one extraordinary case, a 2016 Lincoln penny was found to have a wheat reverse. That's right, a design that hadn't been used since 1958 somehow ended up on a 2016 penny. This is what's known in the numismatic world as a mule error. A mule coin is when two mismatched dies, that's the mold used to stamp a coin, are accidentally or deliberately used together. So you might have a 2016 date on the front and a wheat reverse from over 50 years earlier on the back. Now you might be asking, how does something like that even happen? The U.S. Mint is incredibly strict with its procedures, but sometimes old dies get mixed in or experimental coins accidentally escape the facility. In rare cases, someone working at the Mint might have access to old equipment or prototype designs, and if even a few of those coins make it out, they become legendary in the coin world. In 2019, one of these 2016 wheat reverse pennies was reported in a private auction. After verification by top coin grading services like PCGS and NGC, the coin was declared authentic, not a fake, not a reproduction. And because of its rarity, historical error, and sheer uniqueness, it was sold for a staggering $1.10 million. Think about that for a second. 1 penny, a coin that most people would ignore or toss in a drawer, sold for over $1 million. That's the kind of find that changes a person's life forever. Oh, how can you tell if you've got something similar? First, check your 2016 pennies. Most of them will look totally normal. Lincoln's face on the front, Union's shield on the back. But if you find one with a wheat reverse, you need to get that coin checked immediately by a professional coin grading service. Look for any unusual colors, die cracks, off-center strikes, or mismatched designs. Even small errors, like double die obverse or reverse, can increase the value significantly. And it's not just the wheat reverse you're looking for. There are other 2016 Lincoln penny varieties that can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, some have been found with major die breaks or retained cut errors, which are caused when a piece of the die breaks off during production. These errors can turn an ordinary penny into a high-value collector's item. Also, pay attention to the mint mark. In 2016, Lincoln cents were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins with an S mint mark from San Francisco are usually proof coins, intended for collectors. These are struck using special dies and polished planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish. While not all proof coins are valuable, certain limited-run errors or variations can command big money. Now here's something that often surprises people. Even coins in regular circulation can be valuable if they're in the right condition. A 2016 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, known as MS 70 or mint state, can be worth several dollars. If it has an error or rare feature, that value goes up significantly. Combine that with a rare reverse like the wheat stock design, and you're looking at a potential 6- or 7-figure coin. Let's recap. The Lincoln penny has a rich history dating back to 1909. The 2016 version is normally a common coin, but rare error coins, like one with a wheat reverse or major die mistake, can be worth an absolute fortune. One such coin has already sold for over $1.1 million. And the best part? That coin didn't come from a private collection or museum. It was found in circulation so before you toss that spare change in a jar or let it sit in your car's cup holder. Take a moment to check it out. You never know what treasure you might be holding. 1 cent could turn into $1 million. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting or learned something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow treasure hunters. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a story about rare coins and hidden gems. And let us know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your change? What's the most valuable penny you've ever seen? Until next time, keep searching and happy collecting. Let me know if you want this formatted for a teleprompter or turned into a video outline with visuals or chapter timestamps. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's video is going to open your eyes to something that could be sitting right in your pocket or tucked away in your spare change jar. We're talking about the 1985 D. Lincoln penny, and more specifically, a shocking version of this coin that has been valued at an incredible $1.4 million. That's right, a single penny, minted in 1985 at the Denver Mint, is believed to be worth over $1 million. Now, before you start checking your coin jar, let's break down exactly how this is possible. Why would a penny, made in the 80s, with a face value of just 1 cent, be worth more than most people make in an entire lifetime? The answer lies in the history of the Lincoln penny, rare minting errors, and one extraordinary discovery that turned heads in the world of coin collecting. Let's begin with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent has been part of American currency since 1909. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, and it was released to mark the 100th anniversary of his birth. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse of the coin featured 2 wheat ears, giving rise to the name we all know today, the wheat penny. In 1959, the U.S. Mint retired the wheat design and replaced it with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. That design was used all the way until 2008. So, by 1985, the penny in circulation featured Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a very common and familiar sight. Millions were made, especially at the Denver Mint, which is where the D mint mark comes from. But here's where the story takes a dramatic twist. A rare coin surfaced, a 1985 D penny with something no one expected to see. Instead of the standard Lincoln Memorial reverse, this penny had the classic wheat reverse from 1958. That's right, a 1985 D penny with a reverse design that had been out of production for almost 3 decades. Experts were stunned. How could this happen? This type of coin is known as a mule, a coin that is struck using 2 mismatched dies. In this case, The obverse die was the 1985 D Lincoln head design, while the reverse die, somehow, was an old wheat reverse that should have been long retired. Mule errors are incredibly rare and are often considered some of the most valuable coins in existence. Most never even make it out of the mint. But somehow, this one did. The coin was authenticated by professional grading services and declared a genuine mint error. Not tampered with, not altered after minting, but a true, accidental masterpiece. And when it went to auction, the final price was jaw-dropping, $1.4 million. Now, this isn't just a story of a single lucky find. It's a lesson in how important it is to pay attention to the smallest details. Because even though millions of 1985 D pennies were produced, this one was different. It broke the rules. It challenged what we thought was possible. And that made it one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. But that's not the only valuable version of the 1985 D penny out there. While the $1 million mule is incredibly rare, there are other error varieties and high-grade coins that can still bring in serious money. For example, some 1985 D pennies have been found with double die obverse errors. That means the coin was struck twice with a slight shift, causing the text or design to appear doubled. Look closely at the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the front of the coin. If you notice doubling, especially under magnification, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another error to look for is off-center strikes. If your 1985 D penny appears misaligned, with part of the design missing or pushed to one side, that's a mint error that can significantly increase its value. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still fully visible. Then there's the die break error, a crack in the die that leaves raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Sometimes these errors look like raised bumps or strange textures. They're unique, one-of-a-kind flaws that collectors love. Again, condition matters. The better the overall shape of the coin, the higher its value. Now let's talk about grading and condition. Even a normal 1985 D penny with no visible errors can be worth money if it's in mint state condition. That means it has no signs of wear, no scratches, and retains its original luster. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC assign grades on a scale from 1 to 70. A 1985 D penny graded MS 67 or higher can sell for a significant premium. Some high-grade examples have sold for over $1,000. So how do you know if you have a valuable 1985 D penny? Here's a simple checklist. First, check the date. It must be 1985 with a D mint mark under the date. Second, inspect the reverse. If, by some miracle, you see wheat ears instead of the Lincoln Memorial, you might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. Third, use a magnifying glass to look for doubling in the lettering, off-center strikes, or raised imperfections that could be signs of mint errors. Fourth, look at the coin's condition. The shinier and cleaner it is, the better your chances of it being worth something to collectors. If you think you have something special, don't clean the coin. That can actually destroy its value. Instead, place it in a protective holder and contact a professional grading service. They can authenticate the coin, assign a grade, and help you determine its true market value. Let's recap. The 1985 D Lincoln penny is generally a common coin. Millions were produced, and most are worth just face value. But one rare mule error, with a wheat reverse, shocked the collecting world and sold for $1.4 million. Other 1985 D pennies with double die errors, off-center strikes, or pristine condition can also be worth hundreds or even thousands. So don't underestimate your pocket change. The next time you get coins back at the store or go through your old collection, keep your eyes open. That 1-cent coin might just be worth a life-changing amount of money. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more about rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a penny you think might be valuable. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay curious, keep checking your change, and happy hunting. Let me know if you'd like a thumbnail title, caption ideas, or a visual storyboard layout for this script. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're into coin collecting, rare finds, or just love hearing about hidden treasures, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're talking about the 2004 Lincoln penny, a coin that most people would never think twice about. But what if I told you there's a version of this coin that sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A modern penny from 2004, worth over $1 million. Oh, how is that even possible? What makes this coin so special? Is it a minting mistake? A rare design? A historical error? Let's break it all down. We're going to cover the origin and design of the Lincoln cent, the mystery behind a 2004 wheat penny, and how this rare coin shocked the collecting world. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became one of the most iconic coins in American history. From 1909 to 1958, the coin featured a reverse design with two wheat ears, which is why collectors still refer to these as wheat pennies. In 1959, to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday, the U.S. Mint changed the reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial, and that version remained until 2008. By 2004, the design of the Lincoln penny was standard and predictable, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse and Lincoln's portrait on the front. Millions were minted that year at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Here comes the big question. How is there a 2004 wheat penny if that design had not been used since 1958? Enter the world of minting errors and numismatic anomalies. In a truly rare case, a coin surfaced showing the 2004 obverse, Lincoln's bust with the 2004 date. But instead of the usual Lincoln Memorial reverse, it featured the wheat ears design from nearly half a century earlier. This is what collectors call a mule, a coin that's struck using dies that were never intended to be paired together. Mule errors are among the rarest and most valuable types of coin errors. In most cases, they occur when old or incorrect dies are accidentally or mistakenly used in the minting process. Sometimes they are created during die testing and escape into circulation. Whatever the cause, they are almost always one of a kind. And that's what makes this particular 2004 wheat penny so extraordinary. This wasn't a damaged coin, and it wasn't a fake. It was authenticated by multiple professional grading services and confirmed to be a legitimate U.S. Mint error. The obverse clearly showed the year 2004 and a mint mark, while the reverse showed the unmistakable wheat stalks, a design retired decades before. When this coin hit the market, collectors were stunned. Experts called it one of the most mysterious and unexpected U.S. coin discoveries in years. When it finally went to auction, intense bidding broke out. The final sale price? $1.1 million. That's 1 cent turning into over $1 million. But let's take a step back. Even if you don't have the $1 million mule, there are still other valuable 2004 pennies worth looking for. Several errors and varieties from this year can bring serious money, especially if the coin is in great condition. Let's go over some key things to look for. First, examine the 2004 penny carefully under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loop. You want to look for doubling in the lettering, especially on words like Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. This is known as a double die error, and some examples from 2004 have been found. While these won't make you a millionaire, they can still fetch between $50 and a few $100s depending on their condition and clarity. Second, check for off-center strikes. If the design is not aligned properly and part of it is missing or off to one side, that's an error worth money. Collectors love these types of anomalies, especially when the date and mint mark are still visible. Third, look for coins with die cracks or cuts. These happen when the die used to mint the coin begins to crack or break down. The result is raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. These are often small, but unique, and they can increase the value of a coin substantially. Fourth, consider the coin's grade. Even a standard 2004 penny can be worth more than face value if it's in perfect mint condition. Coin grading services use the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70 being a flawless coin. A 2004 penny graded MS 67 or higher can sell for hundreds of dollars, especially if it's a rare variety or has a desirable error. And finally, keep your eyes out for anything strange. Coins that look like they were struck on the wrong metal planchet, coins with missing elements, or coins with strange coloration could all be signs of valuable errors. So what do you do if you think you've found something special? First, handle the coin carefully. Do not clean it, polish it, or scrub it. That can destroy its value instantly. Next, store it properly, either in a coin holder or a soft cloth to protect it from scratches. Then, reach out to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will authenticate the coin, assign it a grade, and give you a certificate of authenticity. A critical step if you ever want to sell it or have it appraised. Let's take a moment to appreciate how incredible this story really is. A coin minted in 2004, decades after the wheat design was retired, somehow ended up bearing a design combination that should never have existed. Whether it was a test strike, a mint mix-up, or something even more mysterious, that single 2004 wheat penny became one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. A 1-cent coin that turned into $1.1 million. That's why you should never overlook the small things. That penny you found in your car, that one sitting at the bottom of a coin jar, that change you got back at the grocery store. One of those could be your ticket to something life-changing. So take the time. Look at your coins. Learn what to look for. Because hidden treasures aren't always buried in the ground. Sometimes they're sitting right in your hand. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update on rare coins and valuable finds. And drop a comment below. Have you ever come across a strange or valuable coin? Let us know your story. Until next time, keep checking your change, stay curious, and happy coin hunting. Let me know if you want this script turned into a short-form version, or if you'd like help designing a video thumbnail, YouTube title, or suggested B-roll ideas.